Hi, this training video will teach you how to perform the Parsec Qualification Part 1 task. Now, this is how the task looks like. You'll be given an SEC document that you will need to open, all right? And what you're required to do is you are required to just count the number of headers that are found in the document. So, before we proceed further into this, I'd like to spend some time going through the instructions. Now, this is the instruction document. Now, there is actually a production video that I've created. Now, this video is quite relevant to you if you watch the video to see how the actual production task is done, which will give you a deep understanding on how actually the end goal is going to be. Okay, so basically watching this video will actually allow you to understand better what this whole qualification is about. But this video will specifically tell you how to do this header qualification. Okay, now what is this qualification task? Basically, you will be required to go through Security Exchange Commission SEC filing documents and identify the number of headers that are found within the documents using the guidelines provided. Now you will be required to do 9 questions. Okay, once you have completed 9 questions, you will be seeing a stop warning task. Okay, now again, what are you given? You will be given with the link that contains a document, and within the document you will see certain headers. Okay, you will then go through this document and count the number of headers that are in the document. Okay, now here's how the task looks like. I just showed you here also. All right, what is expected of you? You examine the document that is given to you and you count the number of headers that you have. Okay, now here are some tips how the header is to be identified. Basically, I took a snapshot of the document, and you see all these things are known as the headers. So I'm going to zoom a bit deeper into this. So these are all the headers. So if you realize, headers are basically titles or subheadings that are of a particular paragraph. Okay, we are not interested in the text, we are just interested in the heading and also the subheadings. Okay, now here's another example. Okay, so headers include the main section and also the subsections available in the documents or articles. Usually it is the title of the paragraph. Okay, in the images above, the headers are labeled in red boxes. So once you go through the document, so what are you supposed to do? Step 1, analyze the document, go through the entire document, familiarize yourself. You can actually download the document also if you feel it's easier. Okay, once you download, it might be easier for you to go through the document. All right, now what you're supposed to do is you're supposed to analyze the document, go through the entire document, and then for the qualification task, you are to exclude the information on the cover pages and the index or table of content if available. The headers usually start the page after the cover page or the index page. So here are 2 examples. So in this example right here, if you see, this is the cover page, so nothing here is relevant to us. However, this part, the second page, that's where you start counting the headers. Okay, and we are only interested in the header. So how do you know what is a header? I'll explain to you below. So here's another example from SEC Walmart document. So you look at page 4. So the moment you have page 4, that is where the header starts. Okay, now here are some information to help you understand which are headers. Okay, again, I told you that cover pages and index pages are not considered as headers. So just because it's bolded, don't accidentally take that also as as uh, as headers. Okay, now bolded headings. So for example, here's an example where we go through the document and we are showing you certain bold examples of bolded headings. Okay, so words that are bolded could very well be headers. Uppercase words, words that are basically in complete uppercase, those are also considered as headings. Italics, Okay, words that are italics, okay, words that are italicized. So any headings that looks like a subheading that looks like italicized is also considered to be a heading. Now, there could be certain elements where you will have it being capital letters and also underlined. So those are also, it's okay. As long as this is just a guide to help you understand what could be a header. Okay, usually it's the title of the paragraph or the title of that section. All right, now next would be underlined. Again, if you have any text headers that are underlined, those are usually, okay, those are usually also headers. Now then, once you have basically entered the number of headers into the field, what you're supposed to, once you have counted, you basically enter the number of headers into the respective number of into the respective fields. So once you have counted the number of headers into from that document, okay, this document for example, you will then select the number of headings, okay, in the drop down. Okay, you select a number and then only you'll submit. Now before we move further, I'd like to spend some time to go through these edge cases. Okay, so basically sentences or text that are within a header or subheading are not counted as header. So all the text that are inside the header or subheading, you can just ignore them. Another one, reports and letters to the board and tables and also subheadings of tables, all those are to be counted as headers. So here are examples. Okay. Now another example is that financial statements. Sometimes you will have certain tables within the, yes, these are examples. You'll have certain tables within the uh, uh, document. Okay, so the title of the title of the table is also considered as a header. Okay, remember that, and remember to exclude the company name. So certain table headers will have the company name also somewhere at the top, so those you exclude them. So here are examples. Okay, so if I zoom in a bit deeper, you'll see that this is the table header and on top of it is the company name, so you don't count the company name. All right, but of course this part one, financial information, this is a header, this is also a header, but this edge case we are only focusing on this title here. Okay, titles for tables, okay, all those are considered as headers also. Now company name should not be included as a header, okay, in a balance sheet or anywhere. Okay, company names, you don't consider them as header for this qualification. Okay, but if you look at the production video, I will tell, we do take the okay. Now here, sometimes you might look at the document and you might see there are two same headers. Okay, sometimes you'll have the word continued at the end, but sometimes you'll have the same headers. In these cases, what you're supposed to do is you will basically need to, okay, you don't consider them as a new header. So let's say here there are two headers, because using your logic, it's bold and it's a heading of a particular section. Okay, you will count this as one header and this also you'll count as another header, correct? But because it is the same header, okay, you will just count these two as one. Okay, however, this Brazil, Colombia, note to receiver KPN, all these are subheadings which are also considered header, but this, the focus of this edge case is only telling about the similar titles, similar headers. Okay, so those are basically the edge cases. Now let's quickly go into this example right here. Okay, so I'm just going to briefly show you how to uh, look at this task. So I'm not going to do the whole thing, but we're going to just go through. So obviously the first page is blank, nothing. Cover page you ignore. If you have a table of content, you ignore, yes. So everything after the table of content, yes, this is where you will start, which is this. Okay, so 1, 2, okay, so you count this as 1. So you're just counting the number of headers. If you look at the pre-production video, you will understand what makes a header and what becomes a header, and how certain things change from. So there are two types of header. One is a parent header, one is a section header. So if you look at the pre-production video just now that I've explained, you will see how it's actually done, but we here are just counting the headers. Okay, so 1, 2, 3, slowly, 4. So you need to be careful. I missed one. So see how this is italicized? Yes, so we need to start back. So again, we need to go back. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So this is also considered a header. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. So this is how you calculate the number of headers, and you need to pay attention. Okay, and obviously this is also, this is 1, 2, 3. There are 3 headers here in this page itself. Click them. Okay, so there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So what you can do is you can either calculate the headers on each page and total them up, or you can start from the top like how I did. Okay, it's up to you. And obviously this has no heading. This is not the header. Okay, this is whole thing is one, it's all together. Okay, so remember to make sure when you're calculating you look it carefully. And this kind of italicized words, these are also considered as a subheading, which is also a header. So you need to pay very close attention when you're looking at a document. Okay, because your goal is to count the number of headers. Okay, and okay, so that is how, once you have gotten the number of headers that you have counted, count again, make sure you double check, then you enter the number of headers that you found, then you submit the task. That is how basically you attempt the qualification task. Okay, and make sure, okay, you remember to go through this video that I've had here, the pre-production, because this video, it won't show you how to do this qualification, but it will show you how the ideology is for the whole concept. So when you look at the video, you'll understand actually how the how a section is considered as a parent, how a section is considered as a subheading, and what makes a header. Okay, everything other than the text itself is considered as a header. If you look at the video, you'll understand. So if you watch this video, you will know how to do this header task. Okay, because you are just totally counting the number of headers, and all you need to do is you need to be careful. And if you and another thing is, if you remember, if you watch this pre-production video, I will say things like you're only interested in generic headers, but for this qualification task you are to count every single header that you can see, provided they are not the company's name, and also they are after the table of content. Okay, so that is basically the training for uh, header extraction Parsec qualification part 1 task.